So, we are studying about the chapter nuclei, and in my last class I have already discussed about alpha decay, beta decay and gamma decay. Today we will discuss a factor that is packing fraction, and this packing fraction gives the idea about the stability of the nuclei, how strongly the nucleus is packed. That means inside the nucleus, if it is strongly packed, then we can say about the stability of the nucleus. So mass defect does not give much information about the nuclear stability, and it is misleading to say that higher the mass defect, more tightly bound nucleons exist in the nucleus. So according to the base mass defect, we can say that higher the mass defect, more tightly bound the nucleons. But packing fraction is convenient in expressing the binding energy. By no doubt, binding energy gives us the idea about the stability of the nucleus. More the binding energy, that is the nucleus is so strong, just like the for iron, the nuclear binding energy is 8 MeV, and that ferrum or iron is more stable in the periodic table. But packing fraction is a convenient factor expressing the binding energy, and if m is the mass of an atom and a is its mass number, then packing fraction can be defined as mass defect divided by mass number. And we know how the mass defect can be calculated. The total mass of the nucleus minus the sum of the masses of the proton and neutron. And so here it is written m minus this a atomic mass number is the sum of the proton number and neutron number divided by the atomic mass. It will give the packing fraction, and smaller the value of the packing fraction, the more stable is the nucleus. We have to notice that when this packing fraction, that means this factor, that m minus a by a, if it has a smaller value, then the nucleus is more stable. Then just here a graph is plotted between the packing fraction versus mass number, and here in y-axis packing fraction is there, here in x-axis mass number is taken. And the packing fraction for very light nuclei like hydrogen 1 2 means protium, deuterium, this is deuterium, and tritium, this is very large, and a mass number increases, the packing fraction decreases. That means here from the graph we can purely notice that if the mass number increases, the packing fraction decreases. Here the packing fraction is more, mass number is when the mass number just increasing, packing fraction is decreasing. We have to see from the graph. Here mass number is increasing, most probably 200, but packing fraction is decreasing here because y-axis represent the packing fraction, and by decreasing it becomes 0 up to a equal to 16. That is for oxygen 816 nucleus. For oxygen 816 nucleus, the packing fraction is 0. So packing fraction is a term or a factor which gives the idea about the stability of the nucleus. Then come to the properties of radioactive radiations. We have to study about the properties of radioactive radiations. There are radioactive rays just like alpha ray, beta ray and gamma ray. In my last class we have already discussed, and here we have to discuss various properties. Here it is alpha ray, beta ray and gamma ray. So first we have to study about the nature of these rays. First thing, the alpha ray is a material particle and beta ray is also material particle, and gamma rays are electromagnetic waves having wavelength 1.4 angstrom to 7 angstrom. So gamma ray is the electromagnetic wave and alpha beta are the material particles. Next we have to discuss about the mass. The mass of alpha ray is 6.6 into 10 to the power minus 27 kg, and mass of beta ray 9.1 into 10 to the power minus 31 kg, and gamma ray has no mass. That means it is a massless particle. And you have to remember one thing, that this alpha ray is nothing but helium-24 nuclei. So helium-24 nuclei means in helium-24 two protons are there. So one proton mass we know, and multiplying 2 we can get the mass of alpha ray as 6.6 into 10 to the power minus 27 kg, and beta ray is nothing but an electron, and we know the mass of the electron, that is 9.1 into 10 to the power minus 31 kg. So the beta ray mass is same as an electron and it has nil mass. Then come to charge. What are the charges of this alpha ray, beta ray and gamma ray? I have already told that alpha ray is nothing but helium-24 nuclei. You know the charge of the proton, that is 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 19 coulomb. But here, since alpha ray is helium-24 nuclei, so two protons are there, multiplying 2 in charge of the proton, that is 2 into 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 19 coulomb, we can get 3.2 into 10 to the power minus 19 coulomb. This thing we will get. Next, the charge of the electron is negative. The charge of the electron is same as that of the proton, but it is negative, that is 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 19 coulomb. And the charge of the gamma ray is nil. That means gamma ray is a neutral particle. You have to remember one thing, that alpha ray is a positively charged particle, beta ray is a negatively charged particle, and gamma ray is a neutral particle. Then come to velocity. The velocity of alpha ray is in the range 1.4 into 10 to the power 7 meter per second to 2.3 into 10 to the power 7 meter per second. This is the range, means within this much range speed the alpha ray will move, and beta ray has the speed 1.1 into 10 to the power 7 meter per second to 2.96 into 10 to the power 8 meter per second, and gamma ray has a speed same as that of light, that is 3 into 10 to the power 8 meter per second. and ionizing power is very higher of alpha ray, and beta ray has medium ionizing power, and gamma ray has small ionizing power. Then penetrating powers. Alpha ray has small penetrating power, beta ray has medium, and gamma ray has large penetrating power. Next, effect of electric and magnetic field. One thing is there, alpha and beta are the charged particles. No doubt it is positively charged particle, it is negatively charged particle, and gamma ray is neutral. So one thing is that effect of electric and magnetic field is like that. If we place a alpha ray within an electric field or magnetic field, it is deflected, and if we put beta ray inside the electric field or magnetic field, it is also deflected, because these are the charged particles. And if a gamma ray is passed through electric field or magnetic field, there is no effect. That means it is not deflected, because you have to notice that gamma ray is a neutral particle. So when we place a gamma ray inside, when we passes gamma ray inside the electric or magnetic field, it has no effect. It will not deflected. So you have to note down all the properties. Sometimes one property will come in exam in short questions. Maximum times this question will come if one question already came in your previous council exam. That is, if you put a gamma ray inside the magnetic field, it has no effect. Yes or no, this thing like that, this question will come maximum time. So you have to remember all the properties of these radioactive radiations. Next come to laws of radioactivity. One thing is that the radioactivity I have already discussed in my previous class, that radioactivity is nothing but the emission of radiations from the nucleus, from the very higher nucleus, just like the nuclei whose atomic number is greater than 80 are placed in the periodic table. So this is also two types. I have already discussed that natural radioactivity and artificial radioactivity. Today we will just discuss about the laws of radioactivity. Radioactivity is due to disintegration of a nucleus. Radioactivity, how it will happen, that the nucleus disintegrate, means decays. By decaying, it will just less its mass number as well as atomic number. A new element will form, just like in alpha decay, beta decay and gamma decay I have shown. And the rate of disintegration is not affected by the external conditions like temperature and pressure. One thing you have to notice, that when a radioactive nuclei is disintegrating, that means decaying, there is no effect of temperature and pressure. If temperature increasing, the decay rate will not increase, decrease, and if pressure will be vary, then also the disintegration rate will not vary. That means at any place, any temperature, means at any temperature या pressure, maybe in more temperature or maybe in less temperature, the rate of disintegration is not affected. And next thing is, law of conservation of charge holds good in radioactivity. I have already told you that this laws of the conservation of the charge will obeyed by this radioactivity phenomena. Just like in alpha decay and gamma decay, I have already shown the charge of the parent nuclei is the same as the charge of the daughter nuclei as well as the emitted amount of the energy. And next thing, the disintegration is accompanied by the emission of energy in the form of alpha, beta and gamma ray, either single or all at a time. One thing is that the radiations which is emitted, that is in terms of alpha ray, beta ray or gamma ray, either one single ray will emitted or all at a time. Next thing is, I have already told this alpha ray is nothing but the helium-2 nuclei, beta ray is nothing but the electron and gamma ray is nothing but the neutral particle. So when an alpha particle is emitted, that means emission of alpha particle results in a decrease in its atomic number by 2. So its atomic number decreases by 2 and atomic weight or atomic mass decreases by 4. And emission of beta particle results in an increase in the atomic number by 1 while its atomic weight remains unaffected. So when a beta particle just emitted, its atomic number increases by 1 and atomic weight remains unaffected. And if a gamma ray is emitted, then nothing to be affected, it will remain same. So more laws of radioactivity are there, and we will discuss them in next class. All the radioactive decays next class we will discuss.